Hello and welcome to another episode of the Menswear Style Podcast. I'm your host, Pete Brooker. Today I am talking to founder of Luca Faloni, Luca Faloni. And Luca Faloni is an Italian luxury menswear label who are opening 3 stores over the course of the summer in Munich, Miami and Milan. Currently they have locations in London, Stockholm and New York and are fast becoming recognized as the go-to for consumers looking for classic styles from prestigious Italian producers, linen from the oldest mills, Cariaggi cashmere, brushed cotton from Grandi and Rubinelli and full grain leather from Santa Croce. And it was great fun catching up with Luca. He's been on the show before, but to give you a little reminder of the man, the brand, here in his own words, is Luca Faloni.
Yes, so Luca Faloni is a direct-to-consumer menswear brand. We focus on made in Italy and fine materials. And basically, we skip the wholesale channels so we can offer better value for money to our customers and we can have a direct relationship so we can serve them better.
You're opening 3 more stores. We mentioned the one in Marylebone just now. You got 3 more on the go. Munich, Milan, and Miami. Have we got those right?
Yeah.
So 3 at the same time.
Before COVID, we started launching stores. We started online as a brand about 7 years ago. Then one of our clients was a real estate agent, and he convinced me to try to do a pop-up. I was against retail back in the days. I just wanted to do online, but I was impressed by the results of the first store. So we gradually decided over the year that we would open stores. And so we opened London, New York, second one in London. And then we had plans to open a few more. So we opened Stockholm as well. But then COVID came. So for 2 years, of course, we had to take a break. And now we are back to business, to opening new stores, Munich, Milan, and Miami, as you said.
Sounds like the model that perhaps other people that are burgeoning into the industry should also adopt, right? Develop your market online, keep overheads low. And then if there is an appetite for people to, experience the clothes and, like a community that wants to get involved with the brand, then the bricks and mortar come after.
Yes. So first of all, when you start online, you don't have to be big. You can start with a single product or a few products. While when you start with a store, you need to fill up the store with a collection. So over the years, we started online, we got feedback. And when we had a little bit of a collection, we were ready to start the first store. And as we were growing the collection, we were also learning from the stores on how to run it and, what are the pros and cons of retail. And so now we are a bit more ready to start the continuous launch of new stores.
Right. And are you living in London? Is this your home?
I live between London and Milan mostly.
Okay. Family in Milan.
Business in Milan and friends and business in London.
I get you.
I studied in London when I was younger and I kind of have my social circles in this part of the world.
Do you have any pressures, like being Italian, having a store in Milan, like that kind of pressure of everything being the high peak of Italian craftsmanship? Does that ever weigh on your shoulders at all?
I like to say, my profile, my caption on Instagram says, making Italy great again.
I love it.
But of course, it's a bit of a joke, but not so much. Like I feel like it's important to be proud in your heritage and do what you can to push it forward and improve it where you can, basically.
Where did you get that from? And was your old man well dressed? Was there something in your DNA that you thought, I have to kind of bring this to the surface? Drill down on that a little bit, where your inspirations come from.
I grew up in Turin, which is a medium-sized city in northwest Italy. And, when you grow up in Italy, you go to school and we don't have uniforms. And so from an early age, you see how people are dressed and everyone dresses differently. And you start developing your own taste. And Turin was a classic town, it was the first capital of Italy and people have a classic taste. And so in the neighborhoods, you have all the stores that are specialized in, there is the shirt makers, there is the stores, the shoemaker. And so you kind of develop a taste and you kind of develop a knowledge of what is good or bad in terms of both design or craft.
I think the first time I really clocked on to the difference between Italian menswear and say what you might find in London. And I had this with a friend. We were both happened to be in Italy at the time, and we went out for lunch. And there's a lot of just everyday kind of peacocking. And I don't know if it's probably peacocking to us, like Londoners looking at it, but to Italians, it's just Wednesday. You know, we go out, we make sure we look good, and we might just be on the way to get a coffee, but we're going to make sure that we look as good as possible. Whereas I think there's more, I don't know, casualization in this neck of the woods where we are here. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, in Italy, people like to make an effort. It's not a very rational effort. It comes with subconscious, maybe, like you want to make a good impression and you care about how you look, I guess. The style of our brand is, I wouldn't say it's there is a lot of peacocking in our designs. It's very subtle elegance, and it's always at the edge between classic and form, casual and formal. And the colors are very always they're classic Italian pastel shades. It's all relatively subtle elegance, so which is what I like.
And do you have a hand in the designs? What's your kind of 9 to 5 like now around the business and the brand?
The structure of my week is the same week after week. I like routine because it's I know what to expect and I'm more productive. So for instance, Mondays, I do more strategy in the morning, then finance in the afternoon. Tuesdays, brand. Wednesdays, product design in the morning and production in the afternoon. Thursday is more like I follow ops, what's going on. And Friday is all the things that I didn't have time to finish the rest of the week. And the weekend is for a bit of relax. But it's not been like that at the beginning. So just recently I started that.
And how are you handling putting all of the ops together for the launches of all these stores? And maybe touch upon why these cities in particular are important to you.
Yeah, so why these cities? Each of them for a different reason. And all of them were in the plan from the beginning. Of course, I wanted to open a store in Milan as soon as possible, but then COVID came. It took a while to find the stores, the store that we liked. But of course, Milan is very important for the brand and is close to our artisans. Munich is because Germany is our third market online. The first one is the US, the second one is the UK. Germany is our third market online. Of course, is a very big e-commerce market. And we wanted to have a store in the main city for us, which is Munich, to better serve those customers that we have in the area. And also because Munich is a destination for business traveling for all the Germans that are our customers. Miami is, again, a different reason. It's because it's a 365 days linen market. We're very strong in linen. We're very strong in linen and cashmere. Those are the big area where we excel. But of course, the linen season in Europe is just 2 or 3 months long for the summer, while Miami is always summer. So we wanted to have a presence there, just showing our summer collection. Also, it's a window to South America, and because South Americans always come to Miami to do shopping. And it's generally like the second city in the United States after New York for tourists. Tourists, they have free time, they like to shop, and they're in the mood to discover something new. So it's natural that if you want stores, you should have it in some destination of tourism. Like New York for us is very important, not only because there are several millions of people that are our potential target market, but also because you have a lot of traffic there from tourists and business travelers. Going back to your questions on difficulties and how to handle operations, I like to say, luckily, I have a very good team that is doing this for me. And we have very good architects that have helped us come up with some nice designs for the new stores.
That's really cool. And what about the very first guy? You mentioned about the guy who suggested maybe you should do a pop-up and get into bricks and mortar. Is he still around? Is he scouting locations?
I'm actually, funny enough, I'm meeting him tomorrow morning. He said there is a nice store in Chelsea I have to see. And we always wanted to eventually have a store in Chelsea. So now in London, we have one in Marylebone and one in Piccadilly. Piccadilly more for the tourists and for the Mayfair professionals. And it would be nice eventually one day to have Chelsea. So tomorrow I'm having a stroll with him.
That's really sweet. And actually, yeah, I guess it makes sense. I mean, you've got the King's Road, you've got the history, nice affluent area. How old are you, Luca, if you don't mind me asking?
37.
37. All right. Okay. I mean, so is there a plan that you can see on the horizon where you might, be more hands off? Perhaps you'll sell it on. You might just have this as the empire running in the background.
I'm a bit of a control freak, so I don't know if that will work. Look, eventually we need to make space to the younger generation, whichever form that is. But it will not be for the near future. These are very interesting times. I mean, it's always difficult to run a business or to grow a business, but these times are quite particular. It started with Brexit, then COVID, now the war, supply chain problems. Every day I go to work and I think, what is the next crazy things that happens today? I don't think it's going to be a normal day. We are prepared for the worst, and we expect something not ordinary happening.
I mean, you mentioned Brexit. Did that kind of throw any spanners in the works? I mean, the stuff I presume is made in Italy?
Everything is made in Italy. We have a warehouse in Italy that ships to Europe and Italy, and we have a warehouse in UK that ships to UK and to US,
right,
and some regions in the rest of the world. We are in the process of moving US back to Italy, the US orders back to Italy. Brexit was, of course, for the trade with the UK was an annoyance. I wish it didn't happen, but it is what it is, and it's the same problem for everyone in the industry, luckily.
Did you have to put any of everything's going up in price. We talk about the cost of living going up. Have you had to kind of suffer those and swallow those hits?
There is inflation, especially on the raw material side. The manufacturing of the products, the labor has not increased yet as much. But of course, to give you an example, cashmere yarn has increased 20% from last year.
Wow.
Linen, 15%. Now, luckily, we've been growing as well a lot, so we can negotiate a little bit, and perhaps we didn't get the full price increase. But it's undeniable, right? This is happening, and the cost of everything, and also we are making stores now, right? All the construction materials have gone up a lot from when we started these projects, and we haven't increased prices much. We just a few percentage points here and there because we just have to. Prices have increased so much. We're trying to take some of basically decrease our margin, and we don't want to pass on too much to the customers of these price increases. But we are monitoring the situation.
What's driving up the cost of cashmere? Is it delivery?
Cashmere comes from Inner Mongolia, right? All the cashmere goats are in that region of the world. Now, every second month, there is a lockdown in China for COVID. And so shipping is delayed, factories closed. So also all sort of problems in the region. Plus, the year before, the year of COVID, maybe brands didn't sell much, and then all of them, they have to rebuy at the same time. So supply is constrained and demand is high. The world is living this moment of mismatch of supply and demand on all industries. And the economies are not doing great, but everyone is scared of lack of supply. So everyone wants to buy more. Like in the same way, during the early days of COVID, people were piling up on toilet paper. And then there was scarcity of toilet paper in the grocery stores. But that was just because people were behaving, irrationally in a way.
I'm always intrigued when I interview founders, and I spoke to you before, so I've kind of got a taste of where you are. And you said that you're very hands-on with your ops and stuff like that. I'm just wondering what the most enjoyable part of the process for you is. It seeing the finished product? Is it seeing maybe some luminaries or people of note wearing it? What's the moment where you go, that's really nice?
I we have some famous clients that wear our products, but I like it still a lot when I meet random people wearing my products and I recognize it and they talk great about the brand. So that part is always very satisfying. I like it when we're able to produce a product that I'm really happy and proud of. I didn't study fashion. I come from another side of the world. We manage the company in a very mathematical way as well. Like we have targets, we have strategies to achieve the targets. And so it's always fascinating when we achieve the target of the week, of the month, of the year.
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe that's a geeky side of me. But
well, it makes sense though, because you started as the online business, before you kind of wanted to delve anywhere else. So having the numbers in place, knowing the audience, and knowing, I guess, a certain amount of tech is always going to be beneficial for a business like yours. Are you talking to tech? Are you on the social media platforms at all, like the handles? Are you the man behind Luca Faloni?
No, I have a team that manages the social media. I don't like to even look. I follow my account, but the brand account, I don't like to look at it. I don't like to look at the account. I don't look at the website. I don't even like to go in my stores because I have an eye. I spot very quickly if something is not working or it doesn't look 100% right. So I always get angry when I.
You're like Robert De Niro in Casino complaining about the lack of muffins, lack of blueberries in the muffins. Yeah.
So I'm a bit like that when it comes to those things. So I rather stay behind the scenes and do the work.
So grew up in Italy, here in London a fair bit. So English, Italian. Do you speak German at all?
Funny enough, I in high school, I don't know why, but I studied German rather than English. Then I learned English later on. But now I've forgotten all my German. But at some point in time, I was fairly good at German.
Same. I think I put 5 years into German doing that at GCSE school. I did a year of French, and God knows that's gone. But there's bits of German hanging on. But I feel like if you really want to get ahead internationally and make a splash in this world, just having a couple of languages under your belt always comes in handy. And I guess for a brand like this, it's imperative, right?
Yes, yeah, for sure. And look, we are now, an internalization is one of the area of growth, of course, and making the brand more local, in the connection with the clients, localize the languages on the website, the customer service, which all increases the complexity of everything. But it's necessary to become a big brand is necessary, would you say? Yes.
Well, Luca, great talking to you. Great catching up as always. I hope the meeting goes well tomorrow. Be keen to see what happens in Chelsea. Thanks for tolerating this. People can't see this on the podcast, obviously, but my headphones fell apart after about 2 minutes, and I've been holding one of the earphones. It's like I'm actually just on the telephone talking to you. That's how it looks anyway. But it's been fun.
I didn't notice that, but I was enjoying your dog running in the background.
Yeah. So I shut the door, but they always seem to manage to get in somehow and run around and chase the cat. So a little bit of mayhem here, but lucafaloni.com, the place to go. Oh, and lastly, when do you think these stores will be open? Do you have a deadline for those?
Yes, so Munich opens in 2 weeks. So end of May, and Milan will be about 10 days later. And Miami is a little bit more down the line because the summer there now is very hot. So we will open in around September.
Okay, cool.
Before our Basel. So definitely before our Basel. It's an exciting moment. These are the first stores that I don't see until almost the end. The other ones, I was seeing them while they were getting built. And also Miami was the first store. I signed the lease on Miami without actually seeing the store.
Wow.
Because in America during COVID, we couldn't fly for a year and a half, basically. So
yeah,
I couldn't get there, but I had detailed video calls of the place and the surroundings. So
powerful. Well, I guess Milan also will just be a homecoming for you, right?
Yeah.
Up there.
One more reason to go back. And but again, don't forget, I hate going to visit my own stores because I would always find things that are not in place, and it's difficult. I look at things from another point of view, in the same way like a movie director watches a movie, and it's not the same. You understand where the lights are.
Well, look, Luca's saying this, but I've been to the store in Malibu, and there's a huge picture of him on the wall. So, he's being modest on the phone, but I'm only joking. There's no huge picture of you in the store. I got a hat last time I was down there. I was looking for it just before jumping on the call, but I can't find it. But it's a great store. I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes up in London so I can get around to seeing it. But in the meantime, Luca, thanks for jumping on. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you for having me.
You've been listening to the Menswear Style podcast. Be sure to head over to menswearstyle.co.uk for more menswear content and email info@menswearstyle.co.uk if you would like to be a future guest on the show. Finally, please help support the show by leaving a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Until next time.